Yeah, it's 2020. Let's take this a little bit seriously.
Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the doctor himself.
Hello.
Yo, it's 2020.
2020.
This is crazy. We haven't done this in a long time.
What, 2020?
No, I mean, recorded this podcast.
It's true. The last time we recorded was halfway through December. We recorded a couple of Patreon episodes.
I don't even know. Yeah.
We were different people back then. I mean,
God, if we were rusty that last Patreon, this is a whole other level. Oh my God.
And before that, it was recording Docmas. So we really haven't done this in like almost a month.
Yeah, I don't. There's writing's on the wall. I think we should just stop.
We really should have scripted this episode.
Like, you mean like the others?
Yes. Like the others.
All my settings are all fucked up from that roast. I feel like
you mean the roast that I won?
To be fair, they did say that you won because they didn't want to give the person who put on the event also the winning.
No.
They said that
I won
today.
In spite of my Epstein joke that fell flat.
You really... There really wasn't anything written to that. You just wanted to compare me to Epstein?
Yeah. It was a good joke, though. Here, I'm going to tell it to everyone at home. So Richard and I went up against each other in this roast battle that we did before the holidays.
Yeah.
Richard had some good zingers about me. I had better zingers about him. And one of them was this Epstein joke where I said that the only difference between Richard and Jeffrey Epstein is that Epstein was well hung, which is a good fucking joke.
That also brings up some questions about how you're aware of his length.
Well, no, he was well hung. Like he was.
I thought you meant dick.
Sorry, this whole time you thought I was literally only comparing your penis size?
Now I understand why that joke didn't go well.
No, it's because he hung. He didn't hang himself. Epstein didn't kill himself.
I thought you were just making
Epstein
a dick
was
joke.
hung like in a noose, and you are not well hung as in your penis size.
Makes sense why that joke didn't work.
Why?
Because no one got it.
Everyone got it. I was a little too blue for them.
Yeah, no, that's what it was. Everyone was just clutching their pearls.
I want to tell one other joke that I was very proud of, which was that Richard's a big fan of Harry Potter, and it's because he can relate to the story of a young boy whose uncle locks him in a closet until he learns how to use his magic wand.
That was really like a one for the podcast. I feel like
for that joke, I tapped into my inner Richard.
I appreciated that. That was really good.
No, we had fun with that. It was a good time. It was a good event. And then I promptly got on a plane and left.
I still like my first joke.
Well, yeah, go for it.
Reed and I have a podcast together that we've had for a number of years in which I produce, record, edit, do all the graphic design, the web development, a portion of the marketing. So, Reed, I apologize I couldn't write your joke that night. But my arms were just so tired from carrying you the past 2 years.
That was a good joke.
Yeah, I really liked that one. Oh, man.
It's a good joke. I mean...
When it's true, is it still a joke?
Yeah, question mark? Good statement. Good observation.
Yeah, that's really what I was going for. And I also really enjoyed the Reed has an encyclopedic knowledge of both Star Trek and DC comics. I think it's because he can relate to being second best.
Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah, that was a good night. We've got a review.
Yay!
Look at that.
Let's have it.
We got a 5-star review from iTunes Canada.
Close to home.
Oh, so close. Almost there.
Oh, the call's coming from inside the house.
The review's coming from inside the studio. Yeah, that sounds more realistic. From L33 Apple.
I mean, it's got to be Lee Apple, right? Is that Lee speak?
I was wondering but it was Leah. I don't know.
Leah Pull?
That seems like an appropriate comment.
Leah.
With the title, the title, Rad Podcast.
Oh,
I feel like I know where this person came from.
yeah, no kidding.
Who am I kidding? That's where they all came from. Great podcast that I of course found through This Is Rad.
Yeah.
But appreciate listening to a podcast from closer to home, relatively. Mm-hmm. Started listening while a resident of Fort Nelson, now Grand Prairie.
Nice.
Really close.
Relatively close,
yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess that is.
Grand Prairie's not really close. It's relatively close.
When you live up here, everything's relatively both far away and close.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Leah Pull.
Keep pulling. Oh, don't stop pulling.
Don't stop pulling.
Leah, please don't. Good God, there's so much dust on these gears.
Yeah. Oil can.
Oh my God. Let's go to the news.
Let's do it.
Right. Joker wins Best Score and Joaquin Phoenix wins Golden Globe for Best Actor.
The Best Actor one Joaquin is objectively great in that movie.
As he is in everything. Yeah.
If you listened to our Patreon episode about Joker, you know that we have complicated feelings about the movie as a whole.
Yeah.
But I don't think either of us had anything negative to say about Joaquin's performance.
Much like the relationship I have with my family. It's complicated feelings.
Well, yeah. Yeah, so that one doesn't surprise me. I gotta be honest.
The score surprised me.
I don't think I
remember the score?
I was about to say, I don't think I remember there being a score, which is a stupid thing to say because it's a film. Of course there was a score, but it's like, it's so innocuous that it's like, how did it get nominated?
I can't remember what I was watching the other day, but somebody was saying that like they were playing video games and they were like, why is your I think maybe it was Bang Theory or something good. They were like, my game character's name is John Williams, and they're like, why? He's like, because I always score. And I was like, that's a pretty good joke.
Nice. The score one is weird, I think. But, I mean, congrats. Well done to everyone that worked on that.
Yeah.
I didn't notice your work.
Did you see any of the results, at least, from Golden Globes?
I actually forgot the Golden Globes happened.
Yeah, it was like a few days ago, too, yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't really. Was there anything else sort of note? Things that we think are like Oscar predictions. Do we think Joaquin is going to...
I think Joaquin definitely has an opportunity to do that. I wasn't surprised that Parasite won.
Did Knives Out get anything?
No, nothing.
What?
No, not anything.
Did it qualify, or am I just getting angry for nothing?
I don't even think it was nominated. I don't remember seeing it on anything. One that I thought was really cool was Best Male Actor, I think, in a TV series was Rami Youssef. From his show Rami, which past performer at the Yukon Comedy Festival is a person on that show, Dave Mirage. Yeah, so right. I thought that was really cool.
That's pretty neat.
There was a little connection to that there. But Fleabag won a bunch again.
Oh, Fleabag, of course. I really like Fleabag.
I've watched the half of the first season and it was pretty good.
I really like that one.
But otherwise, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won a bunch.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. And Rocket Man won a few.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome.
I'm glad that Taron Egerton got.
Yeah.
He got best performance, which was great.
Nice.
Chernobyl got best television limited series, which I thought was really cool.
Of course. Yeah.
But otherwise, it was nothing that really blew my mind. It was more of just, the one that I felt was probably the most challenging was best animated, because it's what it was Frozen 2, How to Train Your Dragon, Hidden World, The Lion King, Toy Story 4, and Missing Link.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, the Lion King is a really soulless remake.
Yeah.
But holy shit, if the photorealism isn't...
It's a technical marvel.
Isn't impressive. Yeah. I could see them giving it to that on that grounds, but then something more cartoony, like How to Train Your Dragon or something like that, still has pretty spectacular animation in it.
Yeah. But I was surprised that Missing Link won.
Missing Link won?
Yeah.
Is that Missing Link? I don't know if it's actually the same studio, but is it like Aardman Studios, like the people that used to do like Wallace and Gromit and that? Because there's
based on the stylistic,
there's a similar style.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same studio because it's not the exact same style.
Yeah,
but it's like it was animated.
It is
based
reminiscent
on that style.
of. Yeah, it makes me think of that.
Yeah, but I don't think it was actually claymation. I think it was...
No, it wasn't. It was computer, yeah.
But it looks like that for sure,
yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, good for you, Joker.
Yes. Arrow spinoff, new details from CW's Backdoor pilot revealed.
Right, so this is the Green Arrow and the Canaries, which will feature Mia, who is
the daughter.
Oliver's daughter.
Yeah.
As well as Dinah and Laurel from Earth 2, the two canaries that are currently in the show. I've heard them talking about this spin-off thing, but I don't know. I mean, I want a cool, like I'm all for like another cool female-led superhero show.
I would love that.
I'm down with that. I just don't know why it's got to be them.
No, me either.
Especially with Arrow ending, it feels like a way to be like,
but not really.
Yeah, it's almost like you're not ending Arrow because they will presumably have a lot of the same supporting cast,
same villains, probably. Like,
just keep doing Arrow then and just kill Oliver, right? Like, I don't know. It just seems odd.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Me either.
I mean, I of course hope it's good. When things are good, it's good for everyone. It's good for like the whole ecology, but I don't really get this one, if I'm being honest.
No.
I sort of wish it was just make an actual Birds of Prey show.
Yeah.
You know, we have a Kate Kane, so there could possibly be a Barbara Gordon somewhere. Mm-hmm. We already have a Black Canary. If you want to take one of these characters from the show, make it finally pay off for a Black Canary. We already have a Huntress. Just put them together.
I would love a female-led superhero show that is well written. That would be great to see.
I really don't like Supergirl, huh?
It's really more of a shot at Batwoman.
I was going to say, Batwoman has not improved the way I wanted it to.
No. It's a terrible movie, TV show.
Well, here's the real question, though.
Yeah.
Batwoman,
Black Lightning
is better?
Yeah. Yeah.
We did it, Jefferson.
When I watched the pilot for Black Lightning, I then continued to watch like 5 or 6 more episodes.
Yeah.
I literally barely made it through the pilot. I like Ruby Rose as Batwoman in the crossovers from last year and this year. I don't so much on the show. The only person I routinely like on the show is Rachel Scarston, who plays Alice. I really didn't like the whole sister thing with Batwoman. Like, I really didn't like that, making her the villain. Like, I get what they were doing, but like, I was like,
I mean, that's fresh out of the comics.
I know, but I just didn't. It was too detached for me, and that I think maybe the actress that they had play her, I didn't really enjoy.
Alice?
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's Rachel Scarston.
Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't into it.
Oh, see, she's the part of that show that I like. Wow. I think she's doing a good job.
I think that I really like Ruby Rose's performance. I just think she's too terribly written that it comes off like she's a terrible actress.
That's fair. I'll give you that. I think I really don't like her dad in that show.
No, he's really bad too, yeah.
I'm not digging him. But.
No, it's not good. All right, next piece of news. Deathstroke series to debut this Monday.
Like
today, I think.
But we're talking about a comic book, right? No, on a Monday?
No.
Wait. Oh, is this the animated one?
Yeah.
Right, I remember now. Sorry, I was like, Manu Bennett. I was like, I mean, it is Manu Bennett, right? Because it's still set in the Arrowverse, but I was getting way ahead of myself.
No.
Gotcha. Understood. Yes, the CW Seed animated Deathstroke series.
That's right.
We watched a teaser for that probably a couple of months ago now, but it looked really cool. It looked like it wasn't shying away from the violence or anything like that. So yeah, I think that's awesome. I kind of hope it turns into something more, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm into the art style, or it kind of reminds me of some like the Ninja Turtle stuff that we've been getting lately. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm into it. I think it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it.
The nice thing with animation is you could maybe be a little more comic booky than you can. Like, I will say what you will about Arrow as a show, but the one thing that show has always excelled at is the fight choreography. The fight and the stunt work in Arrow has always been top notch, like sort of above its budget, I would say.
Yeah.
But even at that, there are limitations to what you could do on a TV budget with a live action Deathstroke. Mm-hmm. And if you really want to show the sort of full range of that character, it's kind of cool to also include animation as part of that.
Yeah. Robert Pattinson's The Batman surfaces set photo.
Yeah, they've started filming. I think they're filming in... Oh, actually... Is that, you got that from the news?
Yeah.
Because we also got it on Twitter from our favorite religious listener.
Oh, Chris Chan?
Chris Chan sent us a photo in London of what looks like them filming. And it looks like a van that has like GC on it. Oh, yeah, Gotham City 1. It's like a Gotham... like media van.
Yes,
there. Yeah, we got that from Chris Chan today. He sent that on.
Did you see the Twitter. Other photo with the airships?
There are dirigibles. There are dirigibles.
I know.
Oh my god!
It says during the construction of the cathedral set for the Batman, you can spot mini airship probes. That's.
There are dirigibles.
Yeah.
We're getting a live-action Batman movie with fucking blimps, baby.
Which
yes,
potentially means that we're really gonna be leaning into that sort of classic Gotham.
Oh, I love this. I mean, I've been excited for this movie from the get-go.
Yeah.
But fucking right. Yeah. Yes.
I
didn't realize how much I wanted a blimp in a Batman movie.
Until you... What I want a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first movie version of Batman.
Really?
Yeah, I think tonality, like the like imagery wise, like it does such a great job of giving you this like dirty, gritty,
I see
noir feeling.
Right, that first Ninja Turtles movie does pretty well show how desperate things are under the Foot Clan.
Yeah,
that's fair. They've got that arcade though.
Yeah. I just think that's it's a very well sort of like paced and
I'm so excited for this.
I know. The only thing I don't necessarily like is the photo of Robert Pattinson in the suit.
What?
There's
an actual photo?
Well, I don't know. There's this.
Well, that's just a fan art.
Is it?
Thing.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I wasn't sure. Okay, good. Because I was like, I don't really like his hair like that. Like, it's too pretty.
It's Bruce Wayne, baby.
But Bruce Wayne's not pretty in the suit. He's pretty out of the suit. Like, I like the casting for Robert Pattinson as like a younger Bruce Wayne, with being like a pretty rich boy. Like, I think that lines up really well.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that he doesn't feel that way when he's in the suit.
Oh yeah, but
I hope he doesn't take off his helmet and it's like well coiffed hair still. Like, I think.
Oh, I see what you. Yeah.
Like, he needs to have like a sweaty scalp and like be like, look, it's got to be hot.
Yeah.
Inside the bat helmet. Like, I think that's important.
Yeah, fair enough.
But anyways, yeah, I'm stoked for
fucking blimps. Yes, baby.
I'm very much excited for this. This is
me too, yeah.
The more I see.
That comes out in 2021.
Next piece of news. Mr. Mixix-Pitlick returns to Supergirl as Thomas Lennon.
I think we talked about this, didn't we?
Did we? I don't.
Yeah, that he got cast as Mixix-Pitlick.
Huh.
Yeah, I thought we talked about that.
Maybe.
I like it though. I think that's fun. Casting.
I like him in anything. Yeah. I honestly think he's great. All right, then let's move on. We've talked about this, but now Birds of Prey officially gets its R rating.
Yes,
which is great.
We've gotten a couple more photos and a couple other little sneak peek teaser things, but that movie comes out next month. Comes out in February.
Did you see the thing that was like something about it being like in a parallel timeline?
What? No.
Because people were kind of like, this doesn't really look like any of the like other Harley Quinn stuff.
Oh, Jesus. People have such a fucking lack of imagination.
So they like, the director came out.
She's not wearing the same costume as the last movie. Is this another timeline? What a stupid idea.
I just like that they have to be like, yeah, sure, I guess.
I mean, it's clearly not, but like if you lack so much imagination that you can't conceive of a world in which people change clothes, then sure. Like
it's a different outfit. I wear the same outfit every day, and so this is impossible.
Yeah, because no one in a comic has ever
I've got that closet full of the same outfit in rows and rows.
No comic book character has ever changed their costume. That's a fact. You can take that to the bank.
You can cash that check, baby. Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I mean, God. Well, whatever. We don't have to get into it. I've made my thoughts about continuity relatively clear, I think.
Yeah. We got the first trailer for Superman Red Sun.
Yeah, that looks dope.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
I'm
the
really
animated adaptation of Red Sun. Have you read that one?
No, we haven't talked about it.
No, but I mean, just have you read it?
No, it's one that I want to read. But
yeah, it's one of my favorite sort of Elseworld stories. It's so good. And what's neat about these animated ones, when we had Heath on last year.
Yeah.
Because he's written some of these adaptations to animation, right? What's neat is that they never just really do it one-to-one. Other than, I guess, like Dark Knight Returns is probably the closest one that they did.
Yeah.
But other than that, they typically don't do them like just doing a like animated version of like they'll always twist something. Something's a little different, or there's a minor change or something like that. So I'd be interested to see if they do that or what that change is or things like that for this Red Sun movie. But yeah, I mean, what a cool story. It just looks awesome.
I was at Shoppers the other day, and they have like a bunch of the DVDs with like 3 of the animated like movies in
nice.
there.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm really close to going back there and buying them.
Oh yeah, do it.
Yeah. Final piece of news: Stargirl trailer debuts.
Oh yes, I have seen this. That's right, with Luke Wilson.
What a casting! I love the colors.
Yeah.
I think that they're really bold with the colors, which I love. It feels a little bit like a Riverdale kind of vibe.
It does have a little bit of that going on. Yeah,
like the sort of like spooky, but also like Leave It to Beaver vibe. But also a little bit of like Shazam-iness in there too.
And like they're streamlining things. The Stargirl in the comics, it has a history tied to both the Star-Spangled Kid, who was a member of the Seven Soldiers of Victory, but also Starman, Jack Knight, who is the son of Ted Knight, the original Starman, the Justice Society, and stuff like that. This show is just making it that there was a Star Boy or Starman. Yeah. There's just one person you get the cosmic converter belt and the rod from, which I think is smart. Like we get other things adapted for less reason in superhero shows.
Yeah.
It makes sense, I think, to streamline things a little bit, make it a little easier to get into this character for people, because she is a little bit on the fringe.
Yeah. Which gives us an opportunity, I think, to actually like do some really interesting character development and to like...
There's lots of good generational work, though, right? If she's inherited the mantle from a previous person, if there's like the idea of mentorship with her stepdad, played by Luke Wilson, Pat Dugan, who will be Stripe. And like if the Justice Society is involved, because in the comics, she's a young member of the Justice Society. So I think there's some cool stuff they can play with there that is
without bringing the baggage from sort of like expectations and like, because it's not a character as with as big of a pedigree or like knowledge.
Yeah.
I think, but also it kind of looks better than a lot of the CW shows, which kind of surprises me.
Well, I don't know if it's because maybe it started as a DC Universe show and then it's sort of migrated.
I'll be curious what happens like season 2, because right now the visual effects look like way top notch.
It looks like a way stronger pilot than Batwoman. Like
the visuals are even better than like say a certain Green Tiger.
I don't know about that.
Oh, it's so bad. He's so bad.
No, he's not. He's fine.
It's atrocious how bad that design is. I love that show, but good God, that tiger is so badly animated.
Really?
Yeah, it's so bad.
It doesn't bother me.
It bothers me so much. I'm really trying not to. I'm just like turning to fucking something else by now. Like, I just need to not see this terrible tiger any longer. A bird's gotta be way easier. You don't have to like step on shit. Like,
he does keep turning into the tiger, even though early in the season.
Did he? I don't think he ever turned into anything else.
I thought in the first episode he did. He turned into something else. First episode of second season.
Maybe. I don't remember that part. But
I thought he turned into a snake.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Because at this point, I thought that he didn't think that he could turn into anything else.
Well, yeah, and they were playing that for... I could have sworn he did. I might be making that up.
Anyways, this week, we're talking about the Scarlet Speedster. The red streak.
That's right. This...
I can't believe it's been this long since we did one of these.
Yeah, I mean, we did the Because Speed Force episode was episode 59.
Yeah, but it was more. Oh my God. It was 100 episodes
ago? It was 100 episodes ago.
Holy shit.
That we dedicated time to The Flash. So, like...
that was really more Speed Force than it was specifically The Flash.
Well, that's true, too. But, this year is like the 80th anniversary of The Flash.
Or are we doing like a Good Eats thing where we're now doing good, like the Dr. DC Reloaded, and we go back to redoing episodes that we should have done right from the first place?
I don't know what that reference is.
It's okay. Anybody who knows is like, oh yeah. If you know, you fucking know.
Well, no, it's just, we never cover everything, right? There's never enough time.
Also, Daddy doesn't like to wear clothes.
We never cover everything. I'm not covering my ankles. Just stay tuned to our Victorian episode.
Have some modesty.
But yeah, this is the Flash debuted in 1940. So this is...
Would have been better if it was 1959. This week we're talking about Blue Beetle.
And the Flash's 750th issue comes out not too long from now. A month or two, maybe?
Yep.
It'll be the 750th issue of Flash ever.
Wow.
So I thought it would be fun to kick off the year. He's like one of the big core members of the Justice League. He's one of the most powerful characters in DC.
One of the most prominent still. Extremely
prominent. Huge on TV. We think we're getting that movie now in 2022.
Yeah, as likely as
it has a release date.
It's as likely as we're getting another Deli Boys episode.
That's a little inside baseball.
That's fun. I'm so excited.
Let's talk about the Flash.
This is the Dr. DC podcast, and we're the worst podcast in the world. We got a ton of questions.
All right.
I'm very excited. We have a few new names too. Let's get over to Facebook.
Going to the face and the book. Going to the Facebook.
Oh yeah,
still got it.
Something at least. First question comes from Adam Upper.
I hardly know her.
Did you see that post he made? The one about like getting drunk. The fruit flies get drunk and when they've been like sexually rejected.
No.
And it's like the first one is like it's that information about fruit flies, and then it's that shot from Spider-Man with, and it's like, I'm something of a fruit fly myself.
That's fair.
It was a good meme.
That's pretty funny.
I liked it. So, Adam Upper asks, do you think it should be portrayed that the Flash should age a bit faster than other humans / metas when they are accessing the Speed Force? Or does the Speed Force healing factor counteract that?
Right. Before I start this question, everyone at home, make sure to reset your Because Speed Force counter to 0, and we'll see where we're at by the end of the episode. Just keep track of how many times I say it, and then tweet at us, #Because Speed Force, and let us know what that final count is. So,
take a shot every time we say Speed Force, a shot of heroin.
So, the question is, should the speed power affect his aging? When we like in the show, especially like early season, early episodes, and this is true in the 1990 show as well, and true in the Justice League movie, they often portray them as very hungry, constantly eating because their metabolism is working so quickly.
Hey Doc, you don't have speed powers, right?
Oh, trust me. I'm well aware that I don't have speed powers.
Seems like you're acting like you do.
I don't even have like a retort to that because I'm just fat. I'm just fat now.
The holidays were unkind to the Doctor's body.
Well, I mean, in fairness, I was unkind to that. I could have said no, but I didn't.
As a doctor, you'd think you'd know better.
Yeah, I'm doing research on how much my heart can take.
How about if we get to 25 subscriptions on Patreon, we go through a diet contest.
Oh, I'm already dieting, so it's not a contest. I'm just trying to be healthy.
No, but we compete against each other.
I don't want to do that, though. It's going to make me feel worse.
But if we get 25 Patreon subscribers.
Fine.
There we go.
If it makes us modestly more money on Patreon.
You already dug us into that Instagram the musical hole.
The question Adam asked is whether or not it should affect his aging. So the metabolism thing comes up a lot in sort of popular culture. It came up in the cartoons.
Yeah.
They use it in
makes
the
sense.
They use it in the comics. It does make sense until you think and sometimes that idea that bodily processes are also sped up. There are multiple comic or animation examples of them taking that principle and then, someone has to go faster than they've ever gone, but it like hyper ages them and they die. It happened in the animated Crisis on Two Earths with the Crime Syndicate with Johnny Quick. It happened in a Superman arc called Multiplicity that involved the Red Racer from Earth 36 had to super build a new Ultima Thule, like a multiverse shift ship. And it would take like 1,000 years for someone normal. And he condenses time by going super fast, and he basically runs into the dust.
There's also another speedster who's kind of cocky, and the other speedster is really smart, and then another speedster is kind of stupid. Got old Multiplicity.
Great movie.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
So I mean, that idea is out there. It's in comics, and keep those counters ready because Speed Force, it doesn't just happen. Like, if anything, the moving so fast, if you're invoking any sort of laws of relativity, which is a bad idea in comic books because they don't exactly adhere to the laws of physics, but from the perspective of relativity, Barry should age much more slowly because he is moving relatively at a faster rate. As you approach the speed of light, time moves slower for you and faster around you. Like if we were to travel at the speed of light for a given amount of time and then come back to Earth, the people around us would either be older or dead, depending on how long we were at light speed.
Yeah.
So if you're applying that principle to the Flash, he should actually seem younger, like he's not aging.
Yeah.
So you have, is it the metabolism thing, so it should age him? Or is it the relativity thing, so it shouldn't age him? And then we haven't even touched on, how does the healing factor work into that? Is age a thing that your healing factor would deal with? I don't think so. But it's a comic book. Like that's definitely one of those windows where a writer could be like, yeah, sure, like the healing factor keeps you young, but
I would love to read a book where because of all of these factors, he doesn't age.
Yeah.
And then you have to see him like go through like time and.
Yeah. I mean, they do that with Superman all the time, right? That Superman, that's the whole premise of DC 1 million is Superman stays alive into the 853rd century. But really, I think you're right. The character that should happen to is the Flash.
Yeah, I would love to see him because then he can also like jump through time. So then he just at a certain point either like keeps going back and so having to keep relive the same moments.
Yeah.
Or you have him where he just starts jumping forward because he's so frustrated with living in this time that he ends up like at the end of the Earth's existence and it's like him alone on a planet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Why do we want to make everything sad?
To try and give a definitive answer, I'm going to say no. I don't think I think that he should be portrayed as aging quickly.
Yeah.
The metabolism thing, like I know it's incongruous, but that's just like a fun thing to be like, oh, I got to eat a lot because I'm the Flash.
Yeah.
But
big belly burgers.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I prefer it actually doing the opposite, him staying younger. Yeah.
It's going to get real weird with Iris after a while.
It'll be like Captain America, but not like he won't have been in ice the whole time. He'll have been there living their life. I mean, it's like what happens with Wonder Woman, right? Like she's only been off the island basically for a certain span of time. But if you think about it, she will have lived, if she stays off the island, she will have lived many lifetimes and seen all of her friends die and made all new friends and then watch all of them die.
Well, it's
it's the like Arwen and Aragorn thing, you know? Whether by the sword or slow decay of time, Aragorn
next
will
question
die.
Comes from Cody Thurley.
Hey, I thoroughly enjoy you writing in.
Yeah, that'll work.
For now.
I thoroughly didn't enjoy that joke.
We'll perfect that drop.
Yeah. Who asks, when was Max Mercury introduced? I don't know him from the Impulse series. I only know him from the Impulse series.
Right. I think we briefly talked about Max Mercury.
I don't remember him.
He is, quote unquote, a golden age character, but they introduced him like way later.
Oh.
But they sort of slipped him in the timeline as like,
you know, these guys.
Well, yeah, that he had adventures with like Jay Garrick and Johnny Quick and stuff like that. So Max Mercury has a sort of funny history. He's based on a character called Quicksilver, but not the Marvel one from a company called Quality Comics. Quality Comics is the company from which we get the Freedom Fighters and Plastic Man.
Yeah.
And Quicksilver was a sort of fast, like speedster character of theirs. DC bought Quality Comics. And then eventually in the 90s, like 93 or 94, in the Flash series. So by this point, Barry is dead. It's Wally as the Flash. They introduced Max Mercury. They sort of reintroduced this character that they technically have owned for a while, who first appeared in whatever it was called, National Comics, from like the 50s or whatever. They repackaged him as Max Mercury. His story is that in the 1830s, he's part of like the American army, but he's like a friend to the Native Americans and that, and then he's horrified by the massacre that's happening by his own unit and his troops.
Yeah.
And I forget the exact circumstances, but he's sort of gifted with like speed. He's called the Wind Runner for a bit, sort of tied to Native Americans for a bit.
Oh, okay.
But ultimately, he believes very spiritually in the speed, and he keeps trying to access it, basically the Speed Force.
Yeah.
And he ends up time jumping. He sort of skips through time, so he goes a couple of decades at a time.
Oh.
He keeps trying to run into the Speed Force, and it doesn't take him or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And he bounces off into a new... so he sort of skips decades until he ends up in the 40s with the Justice Society and with them for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's in the 90s, though, technically, is where they bring that character in. So they sort of slip him earlier into the timeline, but he doesn't really become part of the Flash or the Speed Force story until later. But because he has that sort of like more spiritual connection, he becomes a little bit of like a early sort of Speed Force mentor guide for Wally. He spent time trying to track down Savitar and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that would have been the early 90s when Max Mercury first got introduced. So if you only know him from the Impulse series, that was considerably later.
Oh, wow. Really?
So I would go back. If you can find issues of that Wally West run as Flash from the 90s, you're likely to find Max Mercury in there.
That's really cool.
Specifically somewhere in that sort of 1993 to 1995 kind of window.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I would go back and try and look for those. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from our most interesting resident.
Roland Sebas?
No.
Andrew Delgado?
Yeah, obviously.
Yes. First time. Nailed it.
Yeah. Who asks, how did people remember Barry dying post-Crisis?
Right.
Yeah, that's a question that they've had to answer on, I mean, not with Crisis, but with other like time events like that.
Yeah. So
especially on the show.
We also sort of talked about this on our Crisis episode.
Yeah.
Right before Darkness.
Yeah.
So it became this little conundrum, which was part of Crisis being this big event. There were some things that were supposed to shake you to your core. Death of Supergirl, big part of that.
Yeah.
The creation of the superhero Dr. Light, Kim Yohoshi. Death of Barry Allen is one. And death of Dove, like the original Dove, Dawn Hall. Mm-hmm. And then Crisis ends, and we have one Earth and one timeline. And that's not how it used to be, but now everyone lives in that reality, and that's how it's always been, quote unquote. But Barry is still dead. So now the conundrum is, Wally is the Flash, and he used to be Kid Flash. Mm-hmm. And you say, well, what happened to Barry? And you go, oh, well, Barry died. And like, when did he die? It's like, oh, he died in a crisis. And like, what was the crisis? And you go, like, I don't remember. They usually would just let it go, just say like, oh, in a crisis.
Yeah.
They say, or they'd reference the red skies or something, but no details of that event really stick in the minds of the people, excuse me, in the new reality. It's a little, I mean, if we're being honest, it's very murky storytelling territory. But I think the best way to think about it is that pre-Crisis still existed. Like, the way we read comics, where we can see how the multiverse was before Crisis and after Crisis.
Yeah.
That meta sort of vision of it exists even in the universe. So even when there was only one universe, like post-Crisis, there's only one timeline. Even in that continuity, there had at one point been a multiverse. So even if people in there aren't aware of it, it had existed. And you see that now when they write things. Characters like a Monitor type character or stuff like that will say, oh, back in the first Crisis. Or like,
yeah. They
know, like, I existed, then I didn't exist. Now I exist again. But they have a memory of it. There's a sort of like a meta-textual sort of memory of that. And I think you can use that to make it make a bit more sense. So they say he died in a crisis. Those characters, the plebes on Earth, they don't know. They don't remember. They don't know how things were before. They just know that there was an incursion. They fought it and Barry died. But then, a Monitor or someone like that would go, oh, I remember how he died. Right?
Yeah.
So that's sort of how it worked. It was the same thing with Dawn Hall, right? Because Hawk and Dove were then Hank Hall and Don Granger. And go like, oh, my brother Don died. And it's like, how did he die? And it's like literally red sky. It was like the same like setup as it was in Crisis on Infinite Earths 12, but you just can't say that there used to be a multiverse. Like you're sort of dancing around it a little bit. But I think you can just play the idea that like that's what the reality altering does to their memories, right? They have a foggy recollection of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Next question comes from the most interesting resident.
Who's left? Roland Sebas?
Well, I don't know why you keep saying
Stephen Marion Almagro.
Yeah, who else would it be? There's one most interesting resident, and it's obviously Stephen.
He's certainly not back to back.
Marion Almagro.
Yeah.
Huh?
What? It was a crisis. Oh my god.
Speed Force. Who asks, he just says, character spotlight, Inertia.
Right. Inertia is he never went by this name, but he's essentially the Reverse Flash to Bart Allen. So Bart Allen is...
My son's also name is Bart Allen.
Bart Allen is a descendant of Barry's from the future, who comes back in time. He goes by Impulse for a bit.
In time?
And then after Infinite Crisis, he got aged like 5 or so years by events of Infinite Crisis.
Yep.
And then he became the Flash. And Inertia was his Reverse Flash. Inertia, he's what's his name? Thaddeus Thawne. He's from the 30th century, so 5 centuries further in the future than Eobard.
Okay.
But he is a clone of Bart Allen, like a deranged evil clone of Bart Allen, who is also a descendant of Eobard Thawne.
Okay.
Who comes back in time. And so Impulse, his archenemy was Inertia. And eventually Inertia is responsible for the death of Bart Allen. He, part of like how his powers worked. He ended up like disconnecting Bart from the Speed Force, and he had sicked the Rogues on Bart, and they went after him because the Flash can heal and stuff. And then all of a sudden he wasn't connected to the Speed Force, and the Rogues killed him. And the Rogues don't do that. So then the Rogues were like, they kind of turned on Inertia because they were like, you made us kill the Flash.
Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, that's who Inertia is. He is a 30th century clone of Bart Allen, who is a descendant of Barry. He is still Inertia is also a descendant of Eobard Thawne, who coincidentally is like a many generations nephew of Barry Allen, because his ancestor Malcolm Thawne is a long lost twin brother of Barry Allen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right, well, let's get the hell out of Facebook. Let's go to Twitter.
Twitter.
Still got it, baby. First question comes from our favorite spacey, sexy texter.
Ooh, Cosmic DM.
Ooh,
Sliding right in.
Or floating into them DMs.
Sure.
Just in space.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Orbiting those DMs.
Shoot a rocket into those
DMs.
DMs.
It's like, oh, I got my heat shield on. It's like, oh, we're losing cabin pressure. We got a problem. Oh my god. No!
I took a bad turn. Ooh, that comment's got a tail.
This episode is dedicated to the brave astronauts
in Ad Astra. Cosmic DM asks,
I was going to say Space Cowboys, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. The superior film.
Yeah. We're the same guys.
Have there been any versions of the Flash with no connection to the Speed Force?
Well, yes, for a long time. So the Speed Force is a creation of like the 90s Flash run. Yeah. Which means not only Golden Age characters like Jay Garrick, the original Flash, or Johnny Quick, or, Liberty Bell. Not only them, but also Barry Allen, the Silver Age Flash.
Yeah.
No Speed Force.
Well, but didn't they retcon it that they did?
Until they retconned it. But then even that retcon, then went back and said, oh, Jay was tapping into the Speed Force.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? But if we're just talking about, there was no Speed Force for 50 years of Flash comics.
Yeah.
And then there was. And then they retconned it back in. Now, technically speaking, I think the word speedster only applies to those who tap into the Speed Force.
Yeah.
You can be fast or have super speed and not be a speedster. Wonder Woman, Superman, Cheetah. These are characters, Martian Manhunter, these are characters that can move at super speed. Green Lantern can move faster than the speed of light. He's got he can move through that transluminal space, right?
Yeah.
To cross galaxies and things like that. But he's not a speedster. Speedster now it never used to, but now it sort of denotes that you are tapping into the Speed Force. So Superman, not a speedster. Flash, speedster. Sort of the idea. But, that original Quicksilver, Quality Comics, wouldn't have had Speed Force. Yeah, Johnny Quick wouldn't have, Liberty Bell wouldn't have, Jake Garrick wouldn't have, Barry didn't. So retconned, it was like, oh, it was the Speed Force the whole time. They were like, oh, Johnny Quick's equation that he had to say out loud is a piece of the Speed Force. Of course. But that was never how they were written, right? It was always going back and retconning it later.
Makes sense. All right. Next question. You know that guy with the glasses that flies around sometimes? I'm talking Superman. I'm back, baby.
I'm leaving the pause because I'm pretty sure that I got a comment from him that was like, you just don't have to do a drop for me because it's so awkward.
But I hate being told to not do something.
Well,
don't you tell me what to do. Nobody puts a baby in the corner. Sorry.
Don't get agitated.
I know.
Don't breathe too deep. What are you doing?
Talking Superman asks, what are your top 5 Flash villains?
Oh, well, you've, I think, read enough and seen enough of the show that I think we should make this top 5 together. So, who do you got?
King Shark.
Sure, from the show.
Yeah,
let's throw him in there. I mean, this is in no particular order, so I'm just putting him in there. Eobard Thawne.
Yeah. I mean,
like he's like one of my number 1 villains of anyone, but yeah, Eobard Thawne.
Yeah,
Reverse Flash.
Yeah, and Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom, great one. Hunter Zolomon, who in the comics he's Wally's Reverse Flash.
Yeah,
they are friends, and then he gets crippled in a gorilla attack, and then he knows Wally is the Flash, and then he gets mad when Wally won't go back in time to undo his injury.
Yeah.
And he tries to use the cosmic treadmill, and he gets basically like phased out of time. Zoom in the comics could sort of manipulate time as opposed to running through space, which is a very silly distinction because it's the same thing, but
he's not going faster, time's just moving.
He could
faster.
Manipulate the flow of time kind of thing, yeah. But yeah, Zoom. So we have 2 Reverse Flashes. We've got King Shark. I mean, you've got to put Captain Cold in there.
Can I tell you something? I think he might be my favorite.
You mean the version from the show, like Wentworth Miller?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just so goddamn charismatic.
And I love the fact that he's the voice now of the ship.
Of that one wave rider. Yeah, from that other Earth.
Yeah. That's so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That was...
Yeah, I mean, he certainly... I mean, for a live action version, he really made him charismatic and interesting, and
which is weird because after you watch Prison Break and then watch that, it's a very different characterization.
It's true, yeah. No, Captain Cold's got to be in there. He's the leader of the rogues. He's probably the most ambitious of the rogues because even though he says he's just a small time crook, he does sort of have aspirations of being like a big time villain a little bit. But he's got this weird honor kind of code with the Flash.
Which I kind of like. Yeah. It's very much like a Batman villain, which I kind of like.
Yeah, like it's almost like a Penguin Batman thing where it's like Flash kind of he doesn't let him get away with it, but he doesn't come down on him with his full power.
Well, because he kind of coordinates everybody else, and so he keeps everything sort of less crazy, at least from like the gangster.
Yeah, and in the comics, world. He's the one that maintains the rogues code of like we don't kill. We don't involve women and children. Like he's got a weird sort of old timey like pirate code of honor. I love. I
mean, pirate's a really good way of saying. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think he's really good. I think that I really enjoy a lot of the Speedster villains, but it is not necessarily my favorite ones. Like Gorilla Grodd, obviously, is...
Grodd's a huge one. Grodd's a major Flash villain, yeah.
I think that's probably... he's probably in my top 5 for sure. I think like being able to outthink Barry is always good because it's whenever it's like using his other sort of his natural superpower rather than the one that he was gifted, the The one the one that ends up like it's always the best when he has to use his brain rather than just his speed.
Exactly. Because Barry is also a scientist, right?
Yeah,
it's cool to see him flex that muscle. Yeah.
And then when he's able to use like the what is it, the speed thinking or whatever it is?
Well, yeah, he has speed thinking. He can learn anything. He can also make his brain process thought faster.
But it can't stay as long in his brain.
It doesn't stay as long in his brain. So he can learn how to engineer a bridge and build it. And then if you asked him like half an hour later how he did it, he'd be like, I have no idea.
And it's not because he has a tumor in his head.
No. It's just, no, Jesus.
So he's no John Travolta.
I really like a villain that we've only seen once on the show, but his name's Abracadabra. He's from the 64th century.
Oh, yeah.
He uses hyper advanced technology to give off the appearance of magic.
Mm-hmm. It's a very Mysterio type character. Yeah,
I would say so. Yeah, very much.
What about our Blood Boy?
Bloodwork?
Yeah.
He's relatively new. We haven't gotten too much of him in the comics. Interesting. Different in the comics than he is on the show.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's not 100% the same. Although I will say the show did a good version of his monster form in that sort of last episode of his. But he's too new. I don't know enough about him to have. He can't crack my top 5 Flash villains yet.
Weather Wizard.
Weather Wizard's got a cool power, but I just was never. I never cared about that character.
Yeah.
Same with like Top or even Golden Glider. To me, the interesting thing about her is how she plays off her brother Leonard. So like,
yes, that relationship
is interesting. Same with him and Heatwave.
That's my favorite. Yeah,
yeah. I think other than Reverse Flashes, it's like Grodd and Abracadabra are big ones for me, and I kind of like the Turtle.
Yes, yeah, I liked the Turtle too.
But I think those are probably mine. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we all know the biggest villain is Barry himself.
Well, his biggest enemy is not trusting his team. What is he, Oliver?
Don't worry. In the newest episode, they really learned that lesson. I can't imagine it changing after that.
Looking at you, Arrow.
Next question comes from the senator.
James
Paulson. Who asks and says, Happy New Year!
Oh, Happy New Year.
What is the most iconic story for each of the main speedsters we have had in the comics so far?
Oh, God.
Also, congrats on Patreon, and I hope you have a wonderful year. Wow, 2 hits. 2 stressful things.
Boom. Oh, Jesus. Most iconic stories. That's...
What is the most iconic for each speedster, yeah.
That's fucking hard. I don't know. Oh, Jesus. I think this sort of saga of Hunter Zolomon becoming Zoom is a pretty big one for Wally.
Yeah.
Because that's, it's like that, it's that Batman and the Joker thing, like like
does one exist without the other?
His failure creates his arch enemy kind of thing a little bit. That's a pretty big piece for Wally, I would say. I mean, it's hard to distill it to like a story, but I think just that relationship, that idea, because then Zoom's whole thing is like, he doesn't hate Wally. He's like, I'm going to make you a better hero. You're not a good enough hero to have saved me because you haven't experienced tragedy. So I'm going to take everything from you and you'll be a better hero for it. It's like that kind of weird, like...
There's this guy with a cape in Gotham, and I think that he's really like...
Hunter Zolomon, I would say, has big Stan energy.
Oh, God. Wow, look at you, just like one of the kids.
Yeah.
Except for that
Wally
where that comes
still
from.
ain't called or wrote. I got my Speed Force locked in the trunk.
Tears not cold, I'm wondering why I'm out of treadmill.
Gorilla snapped my spine and I can't breathe at all.
So it works.
Wow. Dido. Hit us up. A big one for Barry is probably there's a sort of relatively long saga in the 70s of Eobard Thawne comes back in time and at a costume party where everyone's dressed up as different superheroes, he kills Iris West. He like vibrates his hand into her brain and kills her. An issue that I have. And then he frames someone else. Barry's trying to figure it out and blah, blah, blah. He discovers that it was Thawne. And then Barry eventually moves on and he's about to get married to this new person. And Thawne shows up and he's like, I'm going to do it again. And Barry is like running after him. And Thawne is taunting him saying like, I'm going to kill your wife. And Barry goes, no, you're not. And he snaps his neck and kills him. Barry kills Reverse Flash.
Yes.
And then goes on trial. It's a pretty big, for the 70s, I would say, which was sort of the start of these sort of bigger, more complicated stories. It's a pretty big story. Going from Death of Iris West all the way through the trial of the Flash, that's a pretty cool little moment in Flash history. You know, I think it'd be easy to say something like Flashpoint, and it is iconic, and probably more people know that than this one, but I think, you know, we often say that Barry is not that interesting. If you want to read an interesting Barry, it's that window. Death of Iris West to Trial of the Flash. Let's see, Bart Allen. I'm not a huge Bart Allen guy, but that Impulse series is good. I don't know that I could pick a iconic story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to pick the one where he dies. That hardly seems right. Yeah, I don't know that I've got one for that. Jay Garrick. It's tough because, you know, do you pick something from the Golden Age from when he was originally adventuring? Because those are all just like one and done, like stopping bank robbers or stopping the Thinker with his thinking cap. I think I like Jay more as the mentor, so that post-crisis world where he is the early generation, and then he's helping Wally, and he had helped Barry, and they're sort of like a Flash family. I like Jay in that context, so anytime you get him playing that role, I really dig it.
Yeah.
So, you know, Jay in those in the Jeff Johns JSA series is really good. I like Jay in that Wally West Flash series. But I don't know that I have like a story where it's like, that's a good Jay story. You know, I don't know that I've got one of those. Yeah.
All right. Don't worry. You'll be able to answer this next question because it's so easy.
Hey, EC.
Who asks, besides the Crisis on Infinite Earths event that aired December, what other crossover team-up would you like to see in a comic or TV special? Flash and Green Arrow, Flash and Legion of Superheroes, Flash and Batgirl.
I'm going to go back to, you know, a thing that we've somehow not gotten enough of on TV, even though they're constantly in the same room. But in TV or comics, I want Flash and Elongated Man.
Yeah.
Elongated Man debuted in a Flash comic. Yeah. They have a history together. I want a Flash Elongated Man team up. I would be cool if that was like a 6-issue miniseries or an arc in the Flash comic. Yeah. Or if it's like on the show. Like I really liked that recent sort of James Bondy kind of episode that we got.
That was so good. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
The bachelor party was really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think it's them. I think that's I need it in the comics though. I can't even think of the last time that I saw Flash and Elongated Man team up in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's it. What about you? Do you have like a pie in the sky or like a weird one or one that you're like, it would be cool if they did this?
Flash and Green Lantern.
Classic. Best buds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Now, are we talking like Barry and Hal or a different pairing of Flashes / Lanterns? Because there's so many.
I want Barry and like Gnord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad there's not like an incompetent speedster, like a Gnord of the Speed Force. Yeah.
There isn't, eh?
No. I think it's too much power to have someone like that.
So stupid, too.
Yeah. Okay.
Gnort's also really small, isn't he?
Gnort?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's smallish.
Because he's got the ring on his hand, right? Rather than his finger.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's relatively small, yeah.
So that would be funny. You could like sit on his shoulder. I like that.
Just be like, I fucking got this. You
Yeah.
just shut up for a second. I'm trying to stop, Grod.
All right. Next question. We're worried about our digestive health, so we're eating some hearts and some livers. It's organ night, baby.
Sure is. It sure is.
Who asks, is Barry Allen Jewish or not? I've heard conflicting reports.
You know what? That's a very good. I think he is.
Really?
I think he is because. Well, I'm about to. I'm gonna put my foot in it here.
He sure seems like it.
He sure seems pretty Jewy. No. Correct me if I'm wrong. The sort of cultural. The idea is that it's maternally passed down, right?
Yeah.
So the question really is Barry's mom Jewish? And I want to say that she is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I want to say that even.
Well, the level of protection she has for her son would make sense.
Only Jewish moms care
They're
about
just
their sons?
overly caring about their sons.
Oh.
We only found out late.
It's a very good question. I don't think I have a definitive answer to that. I'm going to say I'm probably stumped, but I feel like that's in my head. So he might not consider himself to be like, he might not practice. He might, but I feel like culturally, or it might not even be his culture, right? Like they wouldn't have grown up necessarily that way. But if you're tracking it maternally, I feel like that is a thing in the comics. I'm pretty sure I'm not making that up.
If he's got super healing, would he physically be Jewish?
What?
Would he look physically Jewish?
Are you asking about his penis?
Yeah.
I don't think getting the Speed Force as an adult retroactively would
heal things that
heal things from,
wouldn't it?
Deathstroke still is missing an eye.
Oh, I guess
when
that's
he's
true.
got super healing.
Yeah, I guess that's true. All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, God, what a nightmare if that was the case.
Oh. You have to keep cutting it off to say that.
Oh, Jesus.
Religiously.
Time for my weekly circumcision.
Oh, God. Iris, the scissors.
Oh, Jesus. Well, yeah, I guess with the speed healing, you just, it doesn't matter if you're sloppy or whatever.
Yeah,
it's just like, it'll be fine by next week.
Iris, the box cutter.
Oh, no.
Iris, the bread knife.
Well, I don't like where this question went. I want to say that I didn't make that up.
Yeah.
I feel like he is. Again, maybe not practicing, maybe not in like a way that's meaningful to him.
I call the spin move the dreidel.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, he does have a villain named Top.
I mean, we're halfway there.
A spinning villain named Top, yeah.
All right.
That Top's a real spinner.
Oh. Doctor.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
What kind of show do you think this is? Let's leave. Get the hell out of Twitter. Oh my God. Get over to Instagram.
Now we're going to Instagram. Take some questions and answer them.
First question comes from Robbie's just this guy.
I mean, new year.
New Robbie.
New Robbie. You have a bit more confidence.
Yeah.
You're not just that guy. You're that guy. You know what? Next week, when you write in, I want you to be Robbie is that guy. So help me God if you don't change your handle next week.
Robbie doesn't care what those police maps say. Robbie's just this guy.
Robbie thinks that if juror number 7 knows what's good for him.
Robbie thinks that shouldn't count as a sexual offense.
Oh no! Why does that have to
Robbie's
be so?
just this
No. Why couldn't it just be murder?
Because that's what's boring.
Sorry, you're spicing it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ooh, Robbie's just caliente.
I don't like this.
Robbie just asked, favorite Elseworlds or multiverse Flash/Speedster?
Ooh, I love that. Do you have one?
No,
I know you said you liked the design of Johnny Quick when I made you read Crisis.
Yeah.
The Earth 3 one with the lightning bolts on
that was rad. I liked that.
both sides. You like his design.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've got a design that I really like, but it's not a character you see a ton of, but it's Earth 19. That's like the steampunk, the gaslight sort of Earth.
Yeah.
The Accelerated Man. You see him for like 5 seconds on the Flash TV show, but he's got like a leather, like a driving cap and goggles and a scarf, and he's got those sort of big pants.
Oh, wow.
He looks like he's going for a country drive, but he just runs. But that's the Accelerated Man from Earth 19. I really like his look.
I like the Jay Garrick like classic look. I mean,
that helmet
it's so fucking cool.
Helmet and just like a tight t-shirt. He's just like a 70-year-old guy who's kind of ripped, and you're like, what the fuck?
He's got zaddy.
Jay Garrick is zaddy.
Yeah,
I'm not ashamed to say it.
No, in fact, he emphatically said it.
Yeah, he's Jaddy. That's Jay Daddy.
I was gonna jizz on a daddy. That's Jaddy.
Yeah, Jay Garrick is zaddy. Hashtag Jay Garrick is zaddy. Let's get that trending.
Yeah, sure, why not? What else we got going on?
Yeah, So remember, you gotta tell me the Because Speed Force count. Hashtag Because Speed Force.
Yeah.
And hashtag Jay Garrick is zaddy.
Yeah. Remember when we used to do hashtags? That really died off.
Draw like a real thirsty picture of Jay Garrick and send it to us with the hashtag Jay Garrick is zaddy. Or if you are a ripped 70-year-old, let's do a steamy cosplay and send us a pic.
Yeah, someone for me for sure.
Josh, pretend to be 70.
He's 70 inches.
That's, untenable.
I'm willing to find out.
Find out what?
It's tenable.
Oh no. Subscribe on our Patreon.
Anyways.
Yeah, I'm going to say that one.
That's good. You know how you get frustrated from using those headphones?
Yeah.
Because they're broken?
Yeah.
I think I've got a solution for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You just come over to my shop,
right,
and put it in a block of ice.
The Iceman Customs.
That's.
You know what? This feels like reuniting with old friends. It's been a few weeks.
I know.
It feels good. It's nice to have you all back with us.
Hell yeah!
Happy New Year.
The Iceman Customs asks,
if you're not going to send me to the cooler.
That's right. It's 70s theater. The Iceman Customs. So the Iceman cometh.
Yep. Yeah. That's what the whole joke has always been.
Yeah, I'm prefacing it.
You know, I need to call this goodwill that we had. I was feeling really good about the New Year's. Fuck it.
There we go. Now we're back, baby.
That's more like it.
Yes. If you guys were swapped with Flash for a day, a la JLU animated series, walk us through on the things you'll do. P.S. I'll trade some Josh Gill nudes for that sweet Gnort figure. Are you telling me you have Josh Gill nudes? Are you saying that Josh sent you nudes and not me?
Yeah. Josh was like, I need something new to work out with. The regular weights just aren't heavy enough. And he's like, what if I send you a couple blocks of ice? And then he traded him the nudes. So now Iceman Customs has the nudes, which he is now willing to trade for your Gnort figure.
I like that.
Yeah.
But the problem is I already got some blocks of ice. This is a whole situation.
Oh, it's like Gift of the Magi.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's an episode of Justice League Unlimited, that classic Justice League cartoon, where Lex Luthor and Wally West switch bodies. So Lex in the Flash's body is running around the watchtower causing havoc with all of the Flash's powers.
Yeah.
While the Flash in Lex's body with no powers is in the Hall of Doom and trying to not pass off that he's not Lex. There's a scene where he's in the washroom and Dr. Polaris comes in and Dr. Polaris is like, you don't even have a plan or blah, 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 blah. And Wally as Lex goes to leave and he goes, aren't you going to wash your hands? And he goes, no, because I'm evil. And there's a great moment for Lex in the Flash's body where everyone's chasing him down in the watchtower and he goes to the washroom and he's like, well, at least I can find out who the Flash is. And he takes off his mask and goes, I have no idea who this is. Because it's not like he's famous.
No,
it's just like
some random guy.
I have no idea who this is.
That's really funny.
So if you body swapped with the Flash for a day, what would you do?
God, I could jerk off so many times in a row.
That's the first thing.
I wonder would my cum regenerate? Like, could I keep going?
Speed healing.
Yeah.
Because Speed Force.
Yeah.
Ding.
Chug.
Okay, but I hate when I have a follow-up question to something this fucking stupid. But now I need to know.
Uh-huh.
Do you think you have like speed sensitivity? Or do you think the stroking super fast
would it
actually
just like rip the skin up?
Or I was going to say, no, I mean, you got Speed Force aura. Let's say it won't hurt you, but do you think it would just be too fast and it wouldn't actually make the process faster?
Oh, I wouldn't come faster.
Yeah.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's getting faster is not always fixing the problem.
Yeah.
It's just smoke coming from it.
Yeah.
No, I guess that's a good question. The reality of it is I would
it so fast that it actually feels like nothing, and then you don't come?
I mean, now you just sound like my wife, but
it's so fast that it feels like nothing. Jesus Christ! Oh, I wish I thought of that for the roast.
You're like the Flash because
I believe you would find if you used the Speed Force to try and come that
you say you don't have powers, but based on your relationship with your
for this joke to work, all of you will have need to have read The Flash since basically the 90s.
See, I wouldn't even need to say anything. You'd fucking set yourself up. Likely what it would really be is that I would just get more work done and I'd probably take on more projects.
Really?
Yeah.
What a boring fucking answer.
Yeah.
You get super speed.
Yeah.
Like cosmically gifted super speed. And you do more work? Keep in mind, you've been body swapped. You're not Richard with super speed.
Oh, well, that sucks.
You're just going to do someone else's work really quickly?
Well, no, I would want to do things that benefit me in the long run. So then I'd run over here and then do stuff that would benefit me.
I think I would just be testing out the powers. You know, like I think I'd be like, I know that I've got the speed healing. Let's see if I can phase. And it was just bam, like right
bam,
to a wall.
Bam,
It's like,
bam. All the powers are gone. Well, that was fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd be testing stuff out.
Yeah. Trying to run across water.
Yeah, like shit like that. Yeah, run up buildings or you know, and then once I knew that it was like reliable, I think I'd be like, I could really go for some banh mi, and then I would run to fucking Vietnam.
Oh yeah,
and then run back and have my lunch.
Yeah, I feel like
I would do shit like that. I think I would travel. I think that's where I'm going with this. I think I would travel.
I think what I would probably do is I would probably get too excited and like blast through somebody like in The Boys.
Oh no, like A-Train?
Yeah. Like I'd be like, oh, I'm going to go see my friend in LA and like try to high five them.
Can't stop.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I forgot about The Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's coming back.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck.
Leave Instagram and head on over to Reddit.
Where everyone's nice and no one's ever mean.
Not once. First question comes from Never See It Die, Iron Joker 33. Just I see the glint in your eyes. You're just happy it's back.
I'm happy to be back, but what a stupid song that Iron Eagle.
Only just because you found out that it was an actual song.
No, I don't mean your drop. I mean, the Iron Eagle song is fucking stupid. I expect the way you sing it. This is a weird compliment. The way you sing it makes it sound cooler than it is.
Well, you know. But if I can provide anything, my coolness.
Keep in mind how big of an insult that is to this song. That the way you say it makes it sound cooler than it
Okay,
is.
that's fair. I'm going to take it as a compliment. What are some of the Flash's greatest losses? What are some of what are some cases that he didn't win the fight but lost in a spectacular fashion? His mom got killed.
Well, yeah, I mean, for Barry, yeah. Well, like I said, so the death of Iris West is a big one.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't stop that. He doesn't even solve it right away.
Yeah.
And he ends up committing murder because he's afraid it's going to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, between like that and then the... yeah, I mean, the death of his mom is... a tough one because he can't fix it. He tries because that's Flashpoint, and he can't fix it. So that's a pretty big loss because he basically realizes the only way to get her back is to like doom the world, and then that's not really worth it, is it? I don't know that one that I mentioned from the 70s though. When he ultimately does kill Eobard, yeah, he prevents the murder of his fiance, but he also, he just straight up murders him. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, the Flash crosses, like, a real line.
Yeah.
And goes on trial. Like, that's a low point. That's a pretty big loss. A loss for Wally is clearly, like, everything that's happened from New 52 through Rebirth. Wally's biggest loss is his family. Wally had a wife, Linda Park, and 2 kids, Jay and Irie. And I mean, he may be in the process of getting them back right now, but I'm behind on reading Flash Forward. Mm. But essentially, in Rebirth, he came back and he was in a slightly younger body. And he was like, all right, where's my family? And he was like, things are getting back to normal. We're like resetting the continuity. And they were like, you don't have a family.
Jesus.
Like, Linda Park does not know you. She is not in love with you. You do not have kids.
Jeez.
So like that's a pretty massive loss for Wally, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those are probably the 2
spectacular losses.
Big spectacular losses, you know. I mean, Jay, bad things have happened to all heroes, but like if you're talking about like something really notable, I think it's those
they fucked up and didn't fix it. Yeah.
I think that's really it, I think, for me. Big ones that mean something. I guess that's not really Wally fucking up. That's all beyond his control.
I think like Barry,
but Wally he loses the Speed Force for a bit after Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough question.
Like Barry, I think fucking with the timeline enough that he literally like fucks everyone else's life up. And like Diggle loses children.
Well, yeah, in the show.
Cisco loses his brother.
In
like
the show, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the ultimate thing with Flashpoint in the comics is that not only does he, it's not like It's a Wonderful Life thing where he's like, I understand she has to be dead. Great. And then, great, everything's fine.
Yeah.
He then has to run back into the Speed Force and then stop himself from saving his mom. He actually has to, he sees the version of him that's like, I can save her. And he has to become the villain and stop. Like, that's fucking hard, That's a bit, the show really fucked up Flashpoint a big time.
Yeah.
Because it was nothing.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. It was like, fine, just stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that.
All right, last question.
All right.
Comes from our lover of cold karate, Refrigin Ninja.
Coldest.
Yeah.
Coldest.
Who asks, does the Flash have anti-chafing technology built into his suit, or does have to powder up every day?
Before there was a Speed Force, I think you could make the argument that there was some degree of anti-chafe.
Yeah.
I don't know how Jay was doing it. He was wearing jeans.
Whoa.
Like,
how do the jeans even deal with it?
I know, and he's so fucking zaddy.
Oh yeah, you just rip off those jeans.
Yes. Fucking
yeah. Oh, I wish I was that jean.
I wish I was that helmet.
He's gonna be on his head.
Be on top of Jake, Eric.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the era pre-Speed Force, I think you could, like, there was a whole thing about Barry. You would see Barry because he was a scientist. You'd be like, I made this suit, and it allows me to, it was the Silver Age, so it wasn't like super rigorous, but he was like, I made a suit that allows me to blah, 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 or like no friction, or, they would just say something and be like, oh, he has a science suit. That's how he does it. So there was an element of that, but now with the Speed Force, he has the Speed Force aura. So the question now is, the Speed Force aura generally protects you in a sort of macro level. Like if you're carrying someone, they don't like shred from the speed, right? But is there a mini or a smaller version of the Speed Force aura that is between you and your clothes? Or if you're just inside the Speed Force aura, do regular chafing rules still apply?
Yeah, that's interesting because it's protecting you from outside forces, but you're causing the forces yourself, right? Like,
yeah, like the aura is not between you and the fabric.
Yeah,
it's just around you.
Mm-hmm.
So then, would the regular chafing rules apply? Does the Flash finish saving the day and go like, "Oh my fucking thighs"? Like, I mean, he has speed healing, but that doesn't mean it's not hurting him. It just means he recovers quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, does being the Flash suck?
I mean, yeah. If you...
Is that the note we're ending on?
And all of that to say, this character is awful.
I will say, I'm going to put this out there definitively. I mean, Barry Allen, I don't think is known for being a particularly hirsute individual anyway. So I think that with this idea of regular chafe rules applying, I think Barry is perfectly smooth. I think if he had like hair on his legs and that, it won't grow anymore. All the running, all the chafing, I think he's chafed perfectly hairless, basically. Obviously not up in his head, but like the cowl isn't moving. It's like legs and that sort of thing. Yeah, I think Barry's smooth. Balls and dick.
Let's see those photos, Zaddy.
Yeah, the Iceman Customs. Send those nudes.
Yeah. I think Josh might be the Flash. I need to know.
There's only one way to know. You hear me, Josh?
All right. Well, that's the last question.
What a weird note to end on.
So you know what that means.
Oh, son of a bitch. Fuck me.
That's right. It's time for this week's Dial Doc.
Yep. Based on Dial H for Hero, which was the series where you get this magic H dial. You dial hero. You become a never before seen hero or villain with crazy powers and a wacky name.
That's right.
And every week we come up with one.
Mm-hmm.
Not every episode. We've been doing it since like the 60s of episodes, like episode 68 or 69 or something like that. Richard, do you have one?
I do. You're in luck.
Fuck. Okay, good.
My character's name is Absinthe.
Oh, what?
It's
not, damn it. I know where this is going.
I don't think you do.
Okay.
It's not as sexy. This character has a magic keytar,
right?
And is able to change the reality around people's perception whenever he plays the keytar.
So is he actually changing reality, or is it like illusions casting?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I was basically thinking you were doing something with keys, but I thought the abs would be keys.
Oh yeah, no,
like an absinthe.
Yeah, Josh, I'm gonna play you like a fiddle.
Oh no. Okay. My name is
Earl.
My name is Jesus.
Top quality.
Shaking the dust off, knocking the rust off. Y'all highnesses, Philly's Midases.
Good God.
That's some Fresh Prince rap.
Is it really?
Yeah. Mine is called Candelabra. And what Candelabra can do is basically Human Torch powers, but not their whole body. It's only like their hands and their feet and their head.
Okay.
So it's just like appendages. Like their torso isn't like fire, and even their full arms and legs aren't. It's just like the ends. So they kind of look like a candelabra. But it's essentially Human Torch powers.
Wow.
Yeah. Also the tip of their penis.
The end of their wick, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're John Wick.
Yeah, they have a hard time figuring out whether or not they have STDs because it's always burning.
Oh, God, how do you have sex with that?
Carefully.
Yo, that dick is fire.
You gotta have a wax vagina.
Ooh, I'm melting down there. Oh, it seems real bad.
Ladies.
Your Honor. Well, that was it for our characters. We would love to know, residents, what you residents
tell us what your
up.
name is.
Yeah, what's your name? Say your name when no one is around you, because that's really dorky.
Very nice.
Yeah. Use the hashtag DialDoc and send us your ideas for your DialDocs. Or send us a question for next week's episode. Do we know what that's going to be? We haven't had to know for a while.
Well, luckily this is the one thing I do work on for the podcast, so I do know. Fuck you. Next week, we're talking about...
That's a weird subject.
Charlton Comics.
Charlton Comics of our days and our nights.
So,
Charlton Comics of our wrongs and our rights. I want Charlton Comics part of me.
So, the Charlton Comics characters that became Earth 4 and then got folded into main continuity. Captain Atom, Nightshade, The Question, Blue Beetle, Peacemaker, all of those characters. We're not talking Watchmen. I know they're the influence for that, but we're talking Earth 4 and Charlton Comics, and then the main continuity versions of those characters. So send your questions.
Bueno, yeah. Very excited for that. All right. Well, if you want to ask us questions for those, or give us your dial docs, or just nerd out with us online. Show us what'd you get for Christmas or Hanukkah or other holidays.
Or show us how zaddy you are.
Yeah. Send me them pics. Drop me in those DMs. Just reach out to us to our various social media. I can't open my mouth all the way, okay? I gotta get my freaking wisdom teeth out. Don't worry, there's still room for you.
Excellent work. Very, very well done.
Reach out to us on our Facebook,
Dr. DC Podcast.
Our Twitter,
at Dr. DC.
Of course, our Instagram,
Dr. DC Podcast.
Email,
drdcpodcast@gmail.com.
Of course, we got that subreddit.
r/Dr_DC.
The doc phone is now open.
208-917-3238.
208-917-DCEU. Also, not only can you talk to us online, but you can read some of our DC articles or buy our merch.
Buy our merch
on our website.
drdcpodcast.com or .ca.
Of course, we're always looking for... We got the one at the beginning. We're always trying to get those 5-star reviews. It helps out a ton and get us on those short lists for top podcasts and whatnot. So send those in. And of course... We got that Patreon, baby.
Yeah, patreon.com/DrDC. The Silver Age tier is only $5 a month. You get an extra bonus episode every week. You get the double dose.
That's right.
That's just $5 a month. And we will be releasing the Golden Age tier.
Oh, shit.
We're going to have a new tier.
Yeah.
For only $2 more. And you'll get discounts on our merch. We're going to release extra video episodes called the Prescribed Reading. So we'll talk about current comics that I'm reading. Extra video episodes every week. And we reserve the right to put extra fun things up there as well as we
holes you've dug for us.
Yeah.
Much like our personal relationships, Patreon's going to be full of tears.
Yeah. There's gonna be lots of fun stuff up there. So.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for this week.
I was letting that full of tears.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering. Yeah. We will talk with you on Friday.
Yeah, that's right. Adios.
Ciao, ciao.
They always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure. They are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.